a perfect time of year to enjoy nice, cool, crisp weather and see the beautiful leaves changing. But it's also a good time to remember that you need to keep your yard maintained because there might be some unexpected challenges that may arise. Today with me, we've got Robert Diddy, our stormwater inspector, and Chief Davis from Fire Department. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us, Terry.
Robert, I'll start with you. What are just some do's and don'ts of fall yard care that people may not keep in mind?
One of the do's, people can mow. When they mow, they can mow their leaves. The leaves make a great mulch for the yard. They retain moisture and nutrients, and it's good for the environment. Another do, they can bag up their leaves and take them to the compost facility. They can also bag up their leaves and put them on the curbside, and the sanitation department will come pick them up within a couple weeks. They can also pile them up in small piles and burn them. The don'ts, you do not want to rake or blow your leaves into the street. You do not want to dispose of leaves or yard debris in stormwater drainage ditches. This is a violation of the city's street and stormwater ordinance. And you can be billed hundreds of dollars if the city has to come out and clean the leaves out of the street and gutters.
Wow.
And you could also receive a citation to appear in court and be fined. This is all very important because a big rainstorm event will wash the leaves down the stormwater drain, clogging up the stormwater drainage system and thus possibly causing a flooding event upstream.
And what many people don't realize is our storm drains don't go to a facility to be filtered, right?
No, they're not treated. It goes straight to the lakes, and all those leaves and yard clippings is a pollutant to the lakes and rivers, and we want to keep those clean.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when a lot of people think that it's safer to blow or rake their leaves into like a ditch out front and try to burn from there, it still causes a problem. It may not be directly into a storm drain, but it's still causing other drainage issues, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, and then Chief, I'm going to kind of jump over here to you. Now, when it comes to burning leaves, obviously in the city limits, you must obtain a burn permit, right? You can't just burn freely.
Right. The City of Hot Springs Fire Department regulates all open burning inside the City of Hot Springs. We do that through a permitting system. There are two classes of permits. A normal citizen, someone wanting just to burn in their residence, can come by and pick one up anytime Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Central Fire Station, 310 Broadway. There's no charge for a domestic burn permit, one that one would use at your own home. However, a commercial burn permit, that would be one that would be issued to a company that wants to burn on a property that the person that's getting the permit does not actually live on. That's $25 charge, and that takes fire marshals coming out and actually doing a survey of the property to make a determination if it's appropriate to issue a burn permit. There's a lot of rules that go along with it as well. We require 50 feet of clearance around the burn pile so that it won't project into structures and things like that. And one of the important things to remember, though, is anytime anyone gets a burn permit, you're liable for any damage that occurs should the fire get out. Now, should the fire get on another person's property and damage their home, that actually is a felony level crime in the state of Arkansas. So people need to be very, very careful about open burning, follow all the rules, and people need to understand that they assume all the liability for the fire should the fire get out.
Okay. Now, you're talking about 50 feet. So that's that defensible space, right?
Right. 50 feet of defensible space is what everyone should have around their home or around an open burning pile. That 50 feet of defensible space needs to be clear of trees, bushes, anything that could actually allow fire to spread to the structure. There have been studies done in the wake of wildfires that have concluded that if someone will keep their grass cut at a 4-inch level, have no trees or bushes around their home within 50 feet, the home will survive a fire. And we've seen that here in Hot Springs in times. There's been brush fires and things like that the fire would actually burn around a home that had the defensible space around it and would basically leave it undamaged. So, we've seen that hypothesis played out here many times, and the home basically defends itself simply because of the fact the homeowner has kept all the leaves raked away from it, cleaned their gutters out, cleaned the eaves of the house out, and not allowed pine needles and leaves to collect them.
And when it comes to burning, especially during the fall, only natural vegetation, correct?
Yeah, a lot of people have the mistaken belief that they can burn anything. They can burn trash and things like that, and that's just not the case. Arkansas law is very, very clear on the fact that you can only burn organic material in its natural state. That would be grass clippings, leaves, limbs, things of that nature. So the law's pretty clear about that. And even in Garland County, should someone decide they want to burn plastics and things like that, they're probably going to be cited. And those fines can be pretty hefty. They can be anywhere from $500 to $1,000. So and that's just for burning a hydrocarbon. So the era of burning tires and burning hydrocarbons and things like that is over. Those are some heavy pollutants, and they don't break up real easily up in the atmosphere the same way as smoke from organic materials does.
Absolutely. And now you were mentioning fines for burning things that aren't organic. Now you can still get fines for burning without a burn permit.
Oh, absolutely.
And burning during a burn ban, correct?
Absolutely. One thing the fire department tries to do is we try to treat people with dignity and respect. And as long as people will work with us, we're going to work with them. However, in situations where someone tends to be less than objective about how they treat their neighbors as far as smoke, how they treat the environment, we're going to deal with them in a very corrective manner. And when someone is burning, it's not a right; it's a privilege. And so we need to be respectful of everyone around us. We need to be respectful of the environment, and we also need to be respectful of the rules. And the rules say you will have a burn permit. And so the only place to get a burn permit in the city of Hot Springs is the fire department. And so if people will come by, we'll be happy to work with them and help them. At the same time, should they continue to violate the law, we'll be left with no other choice than to decide.
Now, burn pit permits, what a lot of people don't realize is now if there's a burn ban, if you issue one or somebody else as a representative issues a burn ban, those are void during that time.
Yeah, there is no open burning anytime there's a burn ban on. Those burn permits immediately become void. And it's a situation where that once a burn ban is put on, it's done for a couple of reasons. It's either high winds or it's atmospheric dryness. There's been a couple of other occasions when we've had situations of civil unrest, we've issued a burn ban for obvious reasons. But most of the time it's going to be because of atmospheric dryness or high winds. And it's the kind of thing we don't like to put on burn bans, but we do it simply to help the city defend itself against wildfires.
Absolutely. And just a few more things about the permit. Now, you have to have certain things when you come in, ID and stuff like that. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. We're not going to issue a burn permit out to someone, especially a homeowner's burn permit, unless someone has an ID that has the physical address where the burning is going to take place on it. In other words, your driver's license must have the address of your home on it. If it does not have the address of where you reside, we will not issue a burn permit to you. It's a deal to where that, if you're a renter, you obviously don't have the permission of the property owner to be burning. If a property owner wants to have burning go on the rental property, then they can come in and they can get a commercial burn permit. But we want the owner of the property or that person's designated agent to be the person who's actually getting the burn permit.
And the burn permits, how long do they last? Is it a specific day?
7 days.
7 days, okay, so they've got a 7-day window.
7 days from the date of issuance.
Okay, and I know Robert had mentioned some options of alternatives to burning, so is there anything else that you can add to that?
There are. Our sanitation department does a great job of picking up leaves, as he spoke about earlier. If you'll bag your leaves up and you'll put them on your curb, they'll come along and pick them up for you. In fact, even like if you cut a tree in your yard and you have limbs and things like that, you get 2 free caps pickups a year. Each homeowner does. So there are other options that the homeowner has as opposed to burning. You can bag your leaves up, sanitation will pick them up. If you have tree limbs down, you can put those out on the curb and call caps. They'll come pick those up as well. So, there are some great options. The City of Hot Springs is trying to work with folks and, to give them lots of different ways to keep their home clean and to keep them safe. And think about it is, if you do the maintenance on the outside of your home, it's going to look better. The defensible space idea is not only just for keeping your home safe from fire, it's also for keeping your home looking neat and tidy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time today. I think that y'all have provided a lot of information that some citizens haven't realized, especially when it comes to clogging up a storm drain or obtaining burn permits and what you can and cannot burn. And I again appreciate your time and thank you so much.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.